Hello, welcome to another video. In this one, I'm going to be placing over 150 LEGO Marvel characters, or minifigures, which you can see I've already done. So I'm going to show them all off to you, starting over at the beach. So there's only one new Marvel character at the beach since my beach video, which you should definitely go and watch. And that is Sandman. So I just put him over here in the corner. And I'm just going to show you the other ones that were in the beach video, like B-15, going over to Loki, who just fell out of the sky with the Tesseract from Loki Season 1, or the start of Loki Season 1. And then there's also Spider-Punk walking up onto the stage, where all the classic astronauts are playing some music for my just random animal CMF characters. And then there's Namor jumping out of the ocean with Okoye and Shuri's Black Panther, which this isn't the actual Shuri Black Panther, which I don't have it yet. I'm wanting to get it, but when I do, I'll just replace it. So it's just a comic one. And then I have Silver Surfer surfing over here. And that's it for the beach. And now we're gonna go over to the forest. There's a couple new ones in the forest. Like I have Shang-Chi and Wenwu over here, and they are just blasting like the 10 rings at each other. They each have 5, and that looks really cool. And also Death Dealer sneaking up behind Shang-Chi. And then we have X-23 from the Logan movie and Deadpool Wolverine. She's just in the forest, as well as Werewolf by Night. And then Aunt May is just sitting in this bench. And yeah, not much going on in the forest for Marvel, but I think this does look really cool. And I do need to add some vegetation across here, so I guess I'll do that another time, but I think that looks really good. So there's no Marvel characters over at the airport. Then it's on the sidewalk. We have Gwen, and then Scorpion is being escorted to this police truck thing. But nothing actually in the airport. But over at the X Mansion right next to it, which again I made a video on, of making this plot here, and you should definitely go and watch that video after this one. But we have Professor X sitting on the balcony with the painting of the original X-Men, and then also just the X-Men coffee cup. And then there's Gambit jumping off the balcony with his card shooting at the Sentinel. While the Sentinel has Rogue captured, Jean Grey's jumping at him. Same with Jubilee. And then over at the gate, I have Morph chasing after Mystique, who is leaving. And then on the ground, I just have the Xavier's School business card from X-Men Apocalypse. And then the first X-Men comic book there, as well as flying above the Statue of Storm, shooting down at Toad, with Wolverine running away from his bike to come help with the Sentinel fight, as well as Beast and Cyclops coming over to help. Same with Forge, who's leaving the X-Mansion, and Sabretooth is over there trying to sneak in. And then the only new one here since my video on the X-Mansion is Nightcrawler there, which apparently we're getting a new Nightcrawler for Doomsday, so hopefully that's true, and then I will be able to replace my custom one that uses Ronin's head. But up on the roof I have Pyro coming in to help with the Sentinel battle, and then Magneto's on top with Bishop jumping at him. But that's everything for the X-Mansion. So now we're going to go into the actual city where most of my Marvel stuff takes place. So up here on the helicarrier, right next to the X-Mansion, I have Maria Hill running over to Agent Coulson, who has the Destroyer in his hand, I guess while he's dying. And then Red Skull is trapped in the prison back here. And then I have Nick Fury with Captain Marvel's pager, and then this like Tesseract file thing. And then I have Crossbones, Alexander Pierce, and then Bucky is punching Captain America's shield. And then I also have these two little jet things that just have the shield agents from the Avengers Tower. And then as well as in here I have Sitwell, just flying it. I don't know why he doesn't fly it, but I have him in there for some reason. And then down here I have Mysterio buying fishbowl from the pet store, since his helmet looks like a fishbowl, so I thought that was funny. Kraven the Hunter is just riding away on his, like, lion or jaguar or whatever that is. And then I have Deadpool riding his moped. And this isn't real Deadpool, it's a custom. But when I was like 6 or something, I had like a bunch of these fake minifigures for some reason. And the other one I still have is Deadpool. But like all his like limbs don't go together that well. So I just made this guy, but kept the head. So I do want to get the real one, but this guy isn't the actual one. Just uses a fake head with like a Minecraft body or something. And then up on this roof up here, I have the best Marvel character, Daredevil, as well as Punisher over here leaving this building, Hobgoblin flying over the alleyway here in the train track. And then as well as in here, I have these 3 guys just beating this guy up in the alleyway. And then I have Luke Cage Power Man, who I recently got, tapping that guy's shoulder to like surprise him. And then I also just have Muse over there graffitiing the back of Nelson and Murdoch. And I also just have like Peter Parker up here. This like Bully Maguire is what he's called. Just from Spider-Man 3, where he just becomes a bully. So it's just his name that people came up with. And then down here I added Red Hulk, who's coming over to fight Normal Hulk, who has a car over his head. And I also have Stan Lee in there, since in the Lego games, he's always getting into weird spots and you need to save him. And then I have Ghost Rider riding his motorcycle over here, as well as Karen, Matt, and Foggy outside of Nelson and Murdoch, with Bullseye over here. Coming over to attack Nelson and Murdoch. And then MJ is inside of the Peter Parker's apartment with Spot jumping out of a portal with an ATM. And I guess he just came from this portal because Miles is looking all confused. And then up on that roof over there, I have Sam Wilson's Captain America, the new Falcon, and Ruth from Brave New World fighting MODOK and his AIM agents, as well as Fat Thorn, Korg, and Meek over here, with Rhino running down the street. And then in the construction site, I have Colossus, since he's a construction worker, as well as then back here, I have my custom Emma Frost going over to the bank since she's rich. And then I have Peter B. Parker looking around confused where Mayday is, but she's right behind him. And then I have this guy looking worried because there's just anti-venom next to him. As well as then just this open area, I have Obadiah Stane in his Ironmonger mech holding Pepper. I just have him here to just kind of like fill this area a little bit because it's open. I am planning on doing something for this. Probably in the next video. But then over here I have like a Fantastic Four area. So I have Galactus with the Thing charging at his feet, Invisible Woman holding him back, Mr. Fantastic jumping at him, Human Torch like starting to flame on, and then Herbie over here freaking out. And then since he's not actually in the Galactus battle and isn't this old yet, I just have my custom Franklin from the end credit scene of that movie. He's just standing there. And then Bombastic Bag Man jumping at my custom Super Scroll. And then up on the diner, I have Kate Bishop with Lucky shooting at the bell, like how I'm pretty sure the Hawkeye show starts like that, where she shoots a bell and gets in trouble because she like destroys it. And then on the police station, there's Anfist Tower. There's 2 Leviathans with a bunch of Chitauri, and Thor's jumping at this one. There's a couple shooting at him, and a couple shooting at Hawkeye over here, who's shooting at this Leviathan. And then in this alleyway, I have Venom and Carnage fighting. I don't really like them there, but I couldn't think of anywhere else, so they'll probably get moved eventually. I want to have like a graveyard and maybe like something else back here, and like these 2 half base plates. So I just put Agatha there so she'll go in the graveyard when it's built. And I have Moon Knight running over there, and then like Venom Ham, like Pork Chop or something is his name, with Spider Ham jumping at him with like this big hammer. And I also made an anti-Venom Spider Ham using the Snowman Spider Ham head from an advent calendar. And I also just have my I think his name's Chameleon or something like that. I always forget his name, but he just has like a Miles head as a costume thing. And then Jessica Jones up here spying on those 2 people eating because she's a private investigator. And then I have Green Goblin flying out of Oscorp with Norman Osborn looking out the window. And then up here I also have Human Torch, but flamed on this time at the top of the Daily Bugle, as well as Spider-Man swinging in front of the Daily Bugle, which looks really cool. And then I also just have Spider-Man 2099 talking to the AI spider person in that movie. I don't remember her name. And then up on the Avengers Tower like landing pad, I have War Machine shooting his repulsor at this I forget their names, but Iron Legion. And then he's shooting this one, just knocked him over, shooting this one with his turret thing. And on the inside I have Happy saying something to Dummy, who's holding something expensive and he's sad, as well as Void up here. And then up here I have Chitauri on a flying thing, as well as Eric Selvig controlling the wormhole that I have Iron Man falling out of. And then if you look in here, you can see Ultron Mark 1. It's kind of hard to see. It's easier to see in person, not through the camera, but I also have Black Widow climbing up here with the scepter so she can turn off the wormhole. And then all the way down here, Loki on a flying thing with a Chitauri, as well as 2 Task Force agents from Daredevil Born Again, and then Vision and Wanda charging at Ultron, as well as Tony Stark in his shield suit with the briefcase with the Tesseract in it, and then Kevin Feige over here. And outside the movie theater, I just have Wonder Man and Trevor. And I also have Buck Cashman in this alleyway, as well as Vanessa, and then Ben Urich. And then inside here I have Fisk, inside of Fisk Tower. Over here I have Mobius with a TVA portal. And then Scott Lang, Tony Stark, Captain America all in their time suits, discussing how they're going to get the Tesseract back. And then Zombie Strange is flying next to the Sanctum with all his, like, souls of the damned. And then Tony Stark falling with his armor catching him. And then up here I have Gargantos on top of the roof of the Sanctum, with Wong jumping out of a portal attacking him. And America Chavez is punching his leg. As well as over here I have Doctor Strange blocking an attack from Scarlet Witch, which just looks really cool. As well as in this alleyway, in the first Doctor Strange movie, Mordo's like special magic thing is he has shoes that he can like jump off platforms or something that he makes. So I just made that here. As well as Blade jumping at Mobius, or Morbius or something. And then Gwen is putting on her mask walking out of the alleyway. And the picture of her and Miles is over there. And then over in Central Park, I have She-Hulk calling Wong, whose phone he dropped over there on top of the Sanctum. And then I also just have Steve Rogers running, Kilgrave from Jessica Jones, Bruce Banner, and then 2 Daily Bugle workers taking a break. And then I have Magneto and Professor X playing chess like they do in the movies a lot. And I also added these flower beds going in front of the train tracks, which just looks really good. Really adds to the city. But I also have Miles' dad in this police car, as well as the taxi from the Daily Bugle. And I also have like a younger Doctor Strange getting his medical degree from Town Hall, as well as Iron Man eating a donut in the big donut like he does in Iron Man 2. And I think that is every Marvel character I've added to the city. Other than one, I forgot. Falcon flying next to the helicarrier. But other than that, I think that's everyone. I don't think I missed anybody. Other than Eddie Brock talking to Venom. But now, I think that's everybody. And the city is looking a lot more populated with this. And it looks really good with all of these Marvel characters. Again, there's over 150 of them, including these 3 with Spider-Man running at Doc Ock and Wolverine hanging off the side. And yeah, there's a lot of them. So I hope you like this video, and stay tuned for the next one when I add something to go here, which is going to be Marvel. And yeah, also soon my train will actually be able to go around the entire city because it stops here. It used to turn around here, but I took that turn and put it here because I was trying to see how much more tracks I needed. But I'm going to the Lego store tomorrow, so I will get a train pack set, and then I also will make a video soon about that. I want to get 2 more that I forgot. Yelena jumping off Avengers Tower because she jumped off like the tallest building in the world or something in Thunderbolts, and Iceman skating down on his thing that like in like a Marvel superheroes you can do. And a lot of people have just gone to the like helicarrier and glided all the way through New York, but just added him there. And Now I think I haven't forgot anybody. I said that like 4 times now, but I think I haven't forgot anybody. And now that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and go check out my other videos.